Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Rice Cakes and Pears. We have Andy of Pleasantries. I can't even think of a word to describe this dude. He's an alien. He's a creator. He makes things. I don't even know what to make of them, but they're absolutely inspiring, funny, and they tell a great story. So, Andy, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
What's
What's
up?
up, dude?
Thanks so much for having me, man. I've never done anything like this, and it's exciting.
Really?
No, you're the first person to ever want to talk to me ever. I as I said, I live in a shack. I'm down to give that much info away.
Okay.
I live in a shack. I showed you a little bit of it, and no one disturbs me. But you've brought me out into the world,
Dude,
from my little shack. So thank
I'm
you.
honored. Are you a fan of Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal? I don't know if there's a connection.
I mean, there's an animation called Mershak by a guy named Sick Animation, who's great, and it's about a giant, like 100-foot tall Shaquille O'Neal who's like a mermaid, and all these like '90s like kids ride him.
Beautiful,
and it's really good. Yeah, so I like that. Yeah,
that's a good strategy. It's hard not to dislike Shaquille O'Neal.
I mean he's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, he's fine. So, go ahead.
I don't know. I have nothing to say about Shaq. It's fine. He's fine.
Beautiful.
He's dead to me. He's fucking dead to me.
I hate Shaq. He's the worst. So, dude, I don't even know where to begin, because I believe you started out making music before these creations is what I'll call them.
Yeah. I've been making music for a long time under the name Pleasantries. Started out as kind of a joke, and it was just an idea in high school my friend Johnny and I had, where we wanted to make an EP. Like, I don't think like anyone's even heard this thing. It's on Bandcamp, but it's like a 3-song EP about aliens who own like a bakery. Okay. And it's like 3 songs, and they're all like a minute long, and they're like unlistenable and terrible. And and here I am 10 years later. Here we go.
That's insane. How old are you now?
I'm 23.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, 10 years ago is when you started this?
It'll be
music?
the first. Well, no. I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was like 8. So let me think. Sorry.
You're good.
So in 2013. So it's more like 9 years. So Pleasantries is like 9 years old, which is you wouldn't expect. But I didn't start making animations until like 2.5 years ago. But yeah, so I've been at it for a while. Pretty much, I was making progressive rock music for like 7 years, and it was really great. I enjoyed it a lot and made some cool stuff. But so I can tell you're not aware of Jack Stauber, but he's this artist who's become really popular over the last probably the last like 5 years. He's like really blown up. He's extremely popular. You've probably heard some of his songs. And he's a guy who makes these mixed media animations. He actually puts all of his stuff on VHS. And that's really where I basically saw his videos and was like, I need to do this. And I got into it. So I owe like everything to him.
So he does a similar like a claymation or animation with his music.
Absolutely. Yeah. He makes he does a lot of different stuff, but he does a lot of stop motion and live action and 3D and 2D. He's just an amazing artist. And you got to check, if you like what I do, he's like infinitely better in every single way. So go check him out, and my stuff will make way more sense. Like, I didn't come up with this like idea at all.
I mean, that's cool that you're giving credit to your inspiration there.
You got it, yeah.
I know, honestly though, I've never seen anything like it, but that's cool that there is some inspiration there that makes me feel a little more comfortable talking to you, because I thought you're just an alien.
Yeah. No, and honestly, like not to just like jerk off Jack Stauber, although like I'm down, but but he's
for sure.
He really is like a genius. Like I don't say that lightly. Like I think like genius gets thrown around a lot. Like people like to say that a lot about people, which is fine. But I think like Stevie Wonder's a genius. I think like Prince was a genius. And like, I'm down to put Jack Stauber up there just because of the way, not necessarily just for the music, but the way he's done like all of his visuals and the way he's put it all together. It's pretty much never been done before. So check out his shit. And it's funny that you don't know him, because I feel like it's very unlikely for somebody to find my stuff who doesn't already know Jack Stauber stuff. I'm kind of like, if he's like a giant, like, what's that Pokemon? The Whale Lord, you know?
Oh, Whale Lord, yeah.
Yeah, if he's like Whale Lord, I'm like a little like leech, like on his back fin. That's me.
Dude,
That's who you're talking to right now.
is this the start to a new animation video where you put your face on a
Oh,
leaf?
the idea is hitting me. Oh. Yeah.
Love it, dude.
No, but
So
point is, he's
ahead.
a god. Yeah, he's great. Okay.
Dude, shout out that guy. Jack Stauber.
He's a pimp.
Yeah.
He's a pimp and a player, and I love you.
Love it. Dude.
I'm sorry. All right.
No, dude, don't apologize.
I just had ice cream. I had ice cream, and I'm like, really? I was a bad boy. I got some Culvers.
Dude, you're insane.
I feel really good. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Beautiful. So, dude, music, your voice reminds me of Muse. Has anyone ever told you that?
Okay. No one's ever said that, but I grew up on them for sure, so it makes sense.
And I also think you have like the range of Queen, Freddie Mercury.
That's really nice of you. I mean, Freddie Mercury is like the most impressive singer ever. Where that probably comes from. Have you heard of Foxy Shazam?
Nah, dude.
Okay, they're a band from Cincinnati. They've been around for a little while, probably like the mid 2000s. And when I was in like 7th grade, I got into them, and their lead singer is very much like Freddie Mercury. He was very much compared to Freddie Mercury. It was very theatrical and like poppy. He has this high voice. He's a guy named Eric Nally, and I basically copied him for the first like 5 years of singing. So that makes perfect sense. So he's sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's like the fact you could even like copy him in any way is impressive, just because I don't know, I think it's the vocals that you can go really high, and I don't know,
if you listen to his stuff, it's insane what he does. Like because Freddie Mercury has he's more like a tenor, like he sings high, but he's got the power. Eric Nally is like, I feel like he's more of like an alto, like the way he sings is like screechier and like he like screams. He was in Macklemore.
Yeah,
of course. His song Downtown, remember that song?
Yeah,
the guy who sang the chorus is him.
Oh, sick.
That's Eric Nally. He's one of my biggest heroes. He's a great guy.
Dude, dope.
I've never met him. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, maybe one of these days, dude.
He's also dead to me. He's just as of right now. He didn't come out after the show I saw. I was 12.
Like
frick. What? He just doesn't want to be bombarded by drunk people.
Dude, you performed a show like 2 weeks ago. How was that?
Yeah, that was really fun. That was actually like I got to really thank the dude from Riot Fest who emailed me about that, because I haven't played a show in a while. I played a show on like August 28th, and that was the last time I played a show. And this dude just hits me up out of the blue, says, "Hey, do you want to open for this band from Norway who I never heard of before? They're called Pompoko. You should check them out. They're unbelievable. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. Definitely the best band I've ever played with by a mile." Dang. And it went well. It was a good fit. I just played on my own with a projector, playing the animations and a backing track, and played along. And I had like 3 days to get ready, and it went as well as it could have. It was good. But yeah, so I got to thank the Riot Fest people and Pompoko for coming. They had a whole they went to South by Southwest. They're like super popular. They're really good. Yeah, I don't know. It was
sweet,
fun.
Dude.
Yeah, it went pretty well.
That's really cool. I watched part of it on your YouTube during my pregame before this. So.
Hell yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I think whenever, because I think my channel is more like an animation channel, which is what I want for sure. And it's kind of funny, like whenever I do a live action video, like pretty much nobody watches it. And it's like, it's always funny because like, I don't know. I think it's just how like YouTube works.
Yeah, there's weird algorithms, like especially with TikTok or whatever platform you're using. There's kind of like these hidden rules that you have to follow to get pushed out.
I also think it's just when people like want to subscribe to you or follow you or whatever, they kind of have an expectation of what you do. So like if they subscribe for an animation and then you make like a sketch or like a thing that's live action, they're like not interested necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's why even like a channel like Joel Haver, like, do you know Joel Haver?
I don't, dude.
Okay.
I'm 1 out of 4 right now, dude.
I
live under a rock, man.
I'll assume you've never heard of anything. I'll stop showing you like this plastic jug because you're just gonna be like, what is that? What is that canteen from?
I've never heard of that one.
Show me. Okay, yeah, but sorry. But he's a guy who he got really popular by making like these animations, and he's also like a live action guy, and his live action stuff's incredible. But I mean, still a lot of people watch that stuff, but like comparably less is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But Joe Haber, go check out Joe Haber.
Yeah.
He's cool. All right.
For sure. But 2 years ago, so you were making music for 7 years, and 2 years ago, you got inspired by Jack Stauber to create animations. Like, how do you teach yourself that? Because it looks amazing.
And I'm gonna stop saying thanks because I don't want to just be thanking you constantly. But like for real, like thank you for having me on here, and you're very nice.
I mean, I mean it too. I'm being genuine with it.
Appreciate it. But to answer your question, you know, I did a little stop motion when I was really young. I think I was like 4. I have an older brother, and we did it together. But I was so young, like I barely even remember it. I didn't really make anything. I was just too young to like actually understand anything. You know what I mean? And so I kind of knew what stop motion was, and had technically done it. But so when I saw his stuff, it was just kind of this light bulb moment where I was like, oh, okay, I kind of know what's going on here with the stop motion stuff. So I just started with stop motion because I sort of knew what it was a little bit. Just like, because you can explain, like stop motion is simple enough that you can explain it to a child even. You can, you know, you take a picture of something, you move it a little bit, you take another picture, you move it a little bit, and then you play all the pictures. It's simple.
It makes me think of the episode of iCarly when Spencer does the stop motion. Did you ever watch that?
Is that an episode? No.
Yeah. Spencer does stop motion. That was like my first introduction to like claymation stuff.
Is that, I always think about like television writers because like, is that like because that's also on like, I think it was Community. Or no, it was the one with Ron Swanson. What is that show? Is that Community? That's Community.
Parks and Rec.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Parks and Rec. Because everyone tells me about that episode because like the one guy, there's an episode where he just does stop motion. So I wonder if like, because on those like TV shows, do the writers just sit around and just be like, what do we make this episode about? I don't know. This guy does stop motion. I don't fucking care. And then they just roll. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I loved iCarly as a kid. I want to see that. But
yeah, dude, it was a very memorable episode.
Interesting. Like, I was ashamed of that. I thought it was a chick show when I was a kid. I was like, no, I watched Drake and Josh. I don't do none of that. Did
your parents allow you to watch SpongeBob at least?
Oh yeah, they let me watch way too much shit.
Dude,
my parents. I have an older brother, and like when you have an older brother, like I think your older brother kind of goes through like the ringer of like discipline first.
Yeah. And
at least in my family, it was just like they were just worn out by the time like I came around. They're just like, he's only 4 years older, but it's long enough that like it's like he's watching South Park and you know, oh, that's normal stuff and shit on Newgrounds and early YouTube that's like reprehensible, and we loved it. It was great,
dude. I find that I asked that question sincerely because I feel like there are people who weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob, and they're honestly really awkward and
you think so?
Not okay. They don't turn out as okay. I find that SpongeBob is very applicable to everyday life. I think that's every day.
That's an interesting theory. I mean, it's certainly like with all these memes, like as you know, we've become adults and all these memes have come out from the show. It's like, yeah, they are very, I haven't seen the show in a while, but I assume I could see where you're coming from. But yeah, I feel like the same about, you know, TV.
Yeah.
I don't know TV. What I was going to say. I've never done this. Cut this out. Cut absolutely. All it out.
I got you, dude.
We're going live. Fuck it.
Bro, here's another question for you. Yeah, no, I'll edit all this stuff out.
Yeah, totally. Don't do it. Keep this part in. Do it.
Dude, where do you gain inspiration?
Where do I live?
Yeah, where do you live? What's your social?
What's my social? Is 2, 3 No, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Well, where do you gain inspiration for your creations?
I always have loved, you know, movies and videos on the internet, which are very different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, but my parents, I'm really lucky. My parents are both really creative people. My dad is like has like a computer programming background, but he's a very creative and like artistic guy, and my mom works on like television and stuff. So they've always just been really like creative and like supportive like that. So
that's
I
nice.
think they turned me on to stuff at a young age, and I think So like they got me into like watching like really good movies. Like we used to watch, like good shit like Alfred Hitchcock and classic
Yeah.
films and like that plus watching. Are you aware of like Newgrounds? Is that how old are you?
Dude, I'm 25. I don't know
You're
what's
25.
going on,
Okay.
man.
Okay. So that check. Let me turn off my fan real quick and I'll explain. So Newgrounds. So it makes sense that you wouldn't know this because it was a little ahead of my time or a little before my time. But so Newgrounds was before YouTube. So like early, I believe it started in like 1999. It's a website.
Gotcha.
But YouTube came out in like 2006 and sort of took over eventually. But Newgrounds was like a hub of like flash animation and stop motion animation. And so it was a big hub for like, have you heard of Salad Fingers?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you didn't know Salad Fingers, I was gonna fucking turn this shit off. I was like, who is this fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
But like, no, I'm joking. But Salad Fingers, David Firth, who made Salad Fingers, he put that out in like 2001 on Newgrounds, and that's like one of the bigger cartoons that came off of Newgrounds.
Yeah.
But point is, I grew up on all that stuff, so I think it's like anything creative. Like the previous generations inspire the new generations.
It's ingrained in your DNA.
Yeah, you just gotta. I don't know. No one's ever completely original. I owe a lot to Jack Stauber and David Firth and every weirdo guy on the internet. Yeah,
totally, dude. So with your videos, a lot of them are really funny, but I think a lot of them there's like an underlying deep tone to them where it's like, okay, this is like almost like self-deprecation, like
sure, yeah.
depression vibes. Is that true? And do your creations, do you ever just like relate it to real life situations too?
I think it's kind of funny because I wouldn't say I'm depressed or anything. I think I'm actually a pretty happy person, but I think when you're a happier person, it's kind of fun to like explore like the darker parts of like your mind and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like, I gotta stop breaking people up. Do you know Junji Ito?
No.
Okay. He's a very famous Japanese manga artist. And he makes these horrifying cartoons, these horrifying comics that are like the most like insane shit that like you think this guy is like in a mental hospital. He's actually you watch interviews of him, he's like a happy, just nice man. And he's perfectly happy. And so he's an example of a guy who makes fucked up shit, but he seems fine. And then you have Miyazaki, who made, do you know Miyazaki? He made My Neighbor Totoro and
yeah,
the most famous like anime movies ever. That guy, I've just seen memes about it. I don't know if it's true, but he seems like he's pretty depressed. like he's seen some shit and he's like, but his films are like beautiful and like childlike and have this like wonder to them. But he's like this horribly sad person, it seems like. So I don't know. There's that to it. But then I will say that I think like after the fact, like months later, when I make an animation that's like kind of more fucked up, months later I'll look back and be like, oh, that's why I made that. Like this thing was going on. I get it now. But like in the moment, I'm just like, oh, this is kind of funny. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I guess an example would be like, I don't know if you saw Meet the Meat Man. It's one of my commissions. Okay, it's from like I think like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and that was like the height of 2020, and like I everyone was going through time, and like I just started like eating and drinking way too much, put on like 40 pounds, and then made that, and then like 6 months later I was like, oh, that's why. But at the time I was just like, oh, this is a funny idea. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I try not to like take it too seriously in the moment, I guess.
Yeah. No, I think that's cool. I'm kind of the same way. So with my, like, this podcast is called Rice Cakes and Pears.
Yeah.
So I was on a diet of rice and pears, but like
It's fucking wild.
I know. Yeah.
Are you doing better now, by the way?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm very glad to hear you're doing better.
Dude,
like
thank you. During the pandemic, I started these new meds that have allowed me to tolerate most everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been through a lot of like traumatic stuff. I've been through a lot, like aside from my disease. And I find like I like to make just raps and music, but a lot of it is about like my food allergies or me going mentally insane. I had a mental breakdown a couple years ago, but
Okay.
like a lot of people they'll listen to and they'll be like, "Yo, Zach, are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm great." But
Yeah,
it's
it
kind of
feels
like,
great.
yeah, it's like an outlet. It's a way to cope. But just because we, I think, present ourselves in like a very real, maybe dark way, it's more of a release for me at least.
Yeah. No, I think you're hitting on the head. What you're getting at is basically it's like a therapeutic way to express yourself. I don't know a better way to put it, but
Yeah,
you nailed it.
that's well said.
Yeah. You gotta talk about your shit. If you don't, if you just leave it all inside, it gets worse. And
Totally.
that's a fact of life. You take that
Love
home
it.
with you. You take that home with you. Yeah.
Dude, absolutely.
No. But
Um, so
yeah.
walk us
What?
through because
Huh?
I
I'm gonna troll you the rest of the podcast, bro. I was gonna call you pimp.
Dude, do you ever make
Speaking of
weird
dude,
noises for fun?
I make weird noises. I go, okay. So my thing right now, it changes a lot. It's like anyone. You got things you do that are fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And my thing right now, and it's been for a little while. I like to go like, and the reason is, I think it's like a David Bowie impression. I think, which he doesn't sound anything like that.
Yeah, dude.
But in my brain, he's like an old English man. He's not old. He's an Englishman, and rest in peace. And he has this deep voice, and I just think, oh, hello, oh, yes. And I just love doing that constantly. And I made an animation called Hungry Boy, and that's that voice. And so that's the one I do. I still do it all the time.
Do you go through phases of like different weird Tourette's like things?
Definitely.
Where you just make a weird noise.
If you talk to my friend Vince, who's one of my best friends, and he's my main producer, he produces all my music pretty much, most of it. And him and I will just sit he has a studio in Arlington Heights in Illinois. If you're in the Chicagoland area, go record with him. It's called Swift Road Studios. Tell him Andy sent you. But he's great. He's got a beautiful studio there, and him and I will literally just sit there and go like, "Yeah, what's up, pimp? How you doing, guy? I did so good. Like that's all we do. Being like, I'm not kidding you. Like 80% of the time, that's like we're not conveying like any real information. Yeah.
No, it's beautiful. I think there's a lot of like dopamine or serotonin that goes to your brain. Because I go through phases, man. Like I drive my wife crazy. I just keep repeating the same thing, but it's so fun. Can't resist.
Yeah, that's like you develop little like inside jokes, and you just. So my partner and I we have this thing. I might as well tell you about it. We're gonna make a video where. The joke. It's not even a joke. It's like I don't know how to explain this to anybody because it's like an inside joke. It's so stupid, but like. They do this thing where they go like, Pixar, okay, and it's way funnier when they do it. But we think we're gonna have this animation where like this kid is watching a movie, and the kid it's like a Pixar. It's saying Pixar like the company,
yeah.
But like it's a little kid and he can't really quite say it, so he's like Pixar, and he likes Pixar, and it gets fucked up. You know how I do things. It gets fucked up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, so a couple days ago, no, this was a week ago, I was making weird noises. So I would go, or I go, I have Tourette's. I just like kept saying that, and so
I'm gonna beatbox.
And then
beatboxing. Sorry,
dude, I remember it. I think it's still around.
Were you the kid who beatboxed?
No,
was that you?
Yeah, I was.
You can tell me if you were. It's fine.
Dude, no, I actually didn't. I was the kid that ate rice and pears and had a
that's
rare
right.
disease.
You tried to beatbox. You're like, oh my fucking gut, fuck, yeah,
yeah, exactly how I said it too.
I'm sorry.
Well, this friend, he started doing it with me because he thought I was joking, and then he started like stressing. He's like, wait. He asked my brother-in-law because he's friends with him. He's like, does Zach have Tourette's? Like later that night, and my brother-in-law was like, yeah, he actually does.
God, no.
And so we kept it going for a week, and it was really funny to keep that joke going.
Fucked up.
It was.
It's always good to just lie to your friends. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, dude.
That was
Okay.
good stuff.
Yeah, just a segue though, if we're gonna
Sure.
bring it back into
Yeah.
this interview,
Why?
just
I'm
to
so
talk
sorry.
about you.
I just want to ruin everything. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is great.
Okay,
So
cool.
with your TikTok, did that give you a lot of like momentum? Because your
Yeah.
successful videos, that's how I got introduced to you.
For sure.
So
That's what I thought. Yeah. No,
maybe
sorry. Go.
talk about that and just
Sure.
like, I don't know,
Absolutely.
the story with that.
Yeah. So, I've been making animations for a while and didn't really like think to get into TikTok and take advantage of it until probably maybe like a year ago. Um, and it's been really good. I feel like I don't really understand TikTok. Like even now, I don't get it at all. Like, and but my point is, it's been really great. I feel like it's the one platform that like actually shows your shit to people. Like you know what I'm sure you know all too well what it's like to like post shit and it just doesn't get shown. Like you have X
Yeah,
followers and it gets shown to
no one
like
listens.
5 people. It's fucked up. But TikTok I feel like is the one platform where like I started like with nothing and pretty quickly it just kind of went well. So I don't really know what it is. I don't know if it's the algorithm or something or if it's just like the right stuff for the platform. But I'll say no, it's been great. Like my channels on YouTube's done a lot better and the spot like my streaming stuff has gone crazy. I think I had like under 1,000 listeners like less than a month ago, and now it's like I've never had like anything like that. It's really anyone who's released music, it's like your biggest dream to like actually have people check it out. So it's
Oh
been
yeah.
amazing.
Well,
I'm trying to release something soon to like keep it up, but yeah.
dude, I love it, dude. Well, one thing, and sorry I keep interrupting you. I'll
No, it's
edit
okay.
things to make it smooth, but like,
You're good. Edit that out. Edit that out. Don't keep that. Don't keep that either. All right, yeah, go ahead.
well, Mike, one question I have for you, like you're mentioning, it's every musician or artist dream to make it big or get just people more than like two listeners, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
I imagine it's kind of been a long road.
yeah.
Like what kept you going? Just your love for music and creating?
Yeah, I got to reference a guy you'd never heard of again, apparently.
Yes.
But Joel
Say
Haver.
it.
Joel Haver. I mentioned him earlier. He's a very popular YouTuber right now, and he kind of blew up pretty recently, and he's talked a lot about like his process of creating. He's a filmmaker, and I really like how he talks about it. Where to do this, you just have to love it. You have to love the process of doing it. It has to all be about the love of it. If you're into it to make money or to get famous, you're not going to last very long. Is the simple way to put it. So at the end of the day, the way I look at it is that this isn't for everybody. Like you have to, at least what I do, like animating and making music, it's not for everyone. It's a lot of work, and you're not going to make money ever probably. And that's just how it is. But like, it doesn't matter if you love every aspect of it and it's all you think about. And a lot of people are like that. Like if you're into, music and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's really not very complicated. If it's the thing that you love to do, that's the reason to do it. It's not
Yeah,
really any more complicated.
I agree. So what does the future look like for you? Like you said, you're going to be creating more videos, trying to put it out.
Yeah. I'm going to try and keep up this little bit of momentum that we got going. And my kind of game plan going forward is to kind of do the similar thing that happened with the video you saw, How to Be Happy, which is like make a short animation that is as simple as possible, and then have an extended version of the song, right? So the idea is, put out songs, but not have to animate an entire 2 minute, 3 minute thing. Because to animate, an animation time is everything. Like the difference in like time of making a 30-second thing versus a
Oh
5 minute
yeah.
thing. It's like it's exponential. It just goes up so hard. So the idea is to get the effect of having an animation for a release, but not having to sink months into it, but still have a full song to show for it. So my plan is I have like 30 songs that are written that are all fucking great. I can't wait to put them out. Working on recording them now, and I'm gonna try and keep them to like I'm gonna make animations that are like a minute-ish, if not less. And I'm just so excited. I want to try and make all 30 of them like in a year, hopefully.
Dude, I'm
But like we'll
stoked.
see. Yeah, it'll be amazing. I'm so excited.
Well,
That's
sweet.
the near future, pretty much. Yeah.
Sweet, man. So, where can people find you?
They can find
Where can we
me
lead them?
on YouTube. I think it's just look up Pleasantries and you'll find it. It's no one knows how to say it. It's pleasant, R-I-E-S. It's a noun. It's a plural noun. And also I'm on Patreon and shit. And thanks to everyone who's been on my Patreon. You means the world to me when people actually are able and willing to help me out like that. So thank you.
Sick. All
Hell
right,
yeah.
bro. Well,
Thank you for having me.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I was really looking forward to it. You did not disappoint.
it was fun.
That did.
Take it easy, champ.
Take it easy, pimp.
What's up, pimps?